Hey, welcome again to another live episode of Legal Shit. We're here in downtown West Palm Beach on a lovely, beautiful Saturday morning, and we've been pretty lucky with our Saturday mornings. We've had beautiful weather.
Beautiful.
So join us. We're glad you're joining us for another episode of Legal Shit. We have a few different things to talk about today. What are we talking about? What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? Something that recently happened to us. Yes. So we were looking for a topic and one just fell in our lap.
All right. So first, we're going to, as we do every week, we bring you up to speed on the Shannon Atkins case. That's the case where a Florida resident was arrested for posting supposedly threatening emails or threatening posts on social media against President Trump. And so we've been following that case. He's out. He's on house arrest. And he's represented now by the Public Defender's Office. And on March 12th, the Public Defender's Office filed a motion to compel. And in that motion, they're arguing that the state isn't giving them discovery because a criminal defendant, you're entitled to discovery.
Okay.
You know, what the state has in its possession to help prove their case. And so they said there were several attempts made to contact the state attorney. Finally, the state attorney got back to them and said she was out sick. And so she gave a few things over. I guess the defense now has a recording of video of Shannon Atkins' arrest. Also a recording, and it was very unclear if it was recording between the guy who complained or ratted out Shannon Atkins to the FBI. Yeah. It looks like it was a phone call between him and Shannon, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Wait, repeat that? I don't get it. I didn't hear it.
I didn't understand it either. If you read the motion to compel that was filed by Mr. Atkins' attorney,
okay,
it seems to read as if there was a phone call between Shannon Atkins, a recording of a phone call between Atkins and the complaining witness, the person that called the FBI on him.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that's the case. I think what he was saying is, what it should have said is actually it was a recording of the phone call between the complaining witness and probably the FBI.
Okay.
And they also
said, who wrote that? Who do you think wrote that?
The defense attorney. That's in the motion, asking the judge to order the state of Florida to give them more discovery that they think the state has.
Okay.
And so we'll see. We'll see what the state's going to turn over, and ultimately, maybe we can do some public records requests and get some of those documents. So that's that. Also, I wanted to talk just briefly about a scam going around, and it's probably not just in this county or in this state. It could be anywhere. Mm-hmm. But I got a call the other day, actually yesterday it was, from a client who said she received a call from a sheriff's department officer saying that there was a warrant out for her arrest because she failed to appear for federal jury duty.
Oh, wow.
And they even used the judge's name. You didn't appear in Judge Bloom's courtroom. She's a federal district court judge here.
Judge Bloom, the famous judge.
And how did she get it again? By email or by
she received
a letter?
Phone call.
Oh, now you can't believe anything that comes in a phone call.
And then the caller said he's a detective, and so what she could do is she could turn herself in, or and you know then get booked, or if she wanted, she could pay $500 and she wouldn't have to appear.
Over the phone.
Sounds like a deal. That sounds. That
you
sounds like
don't
a
want
bargain,
to jump in
right?
your car. You don't want to do all that stuff, so you might as well pay, over the phone, or through a letter. If they send you a letter,
they probably take Apple Pay.
Yeah. Or Cash App, Venmo.
Yeah, I'm sure they take it.
Yeah.
And so, but my client didn't have all those details. I had to go do some digging because she just says they called and said they're coming to arrest me right now. So what should I do? So I called the
always have a lawyer on hand. That's what you should do.
The PBSO, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department, or office, and they said no, we'd never call someone. We would just go there and arrest them. So that we don't think so. But then I called the numbers and left a message for the detectives. They never called me back. Then I called Judge Bloom's chambers and spoke to her judicial assistant and told her what happened. She said she would tell the judge, and I'd never heard back from the judge. So, and then I did a little more online research, and it looks like this is a scam going around. So if you're contacted by telephone or by letter, most likely by telephone, and someone says that there's a warrant out for your arrest and you didn't show up for jury duty, give someone a call, give it a lawyer call or something. Just don't sit there.
Check into it, because just like I violate a few tolls over my lifetime.
Tolls?
No.
Yeah.
I think
it's a transponder.
I think the transponder wasn't working. But
I mean, they die after a couple of years. I don't check them. I just put them on my card. They're supposed to work forever. That's it. You're coming out of my credit card. That's it. Why do I need to check? It's like oil change. Why do I have to do an oil change? Just You did an oil change already. Now we got to do an oil change every month. It should still have the oil in it. It should have the transponder should still be working.
I don't know.
The battery should be fine. It should be UV light. It's on the car. But yet I get emails. Even though my lawyer has paid all the fees, I still get emails. I still get letters saying that I have not paid. So every time we get those things, he's always checking.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like forward.
It's not just one or two. It's constantly. Every day I get something where you owe money or you haven't paid
Now,
this.
that didn't have anything to do with anything. It was just a sheriff, right? Saying that you're supposed to be arrested for something.
Yeah, you didn't show up for federal.
It's just another
jury duty.
scam.
Yeah.
It's a scam to get extra money out of you.
I have, by the way, I missed jury duty one time and I had to go in like the day afterwards because I realized, oh crap, I had jury duty yesterday. And I walked in and, I fell on my knees and begged for forgiveness. And they just said, sit down. And I was dismissed an hour later. So
they don't pay you much per day.
No, I don't know what it is these days. $18 a day or something.
I don't think do they really want lawyers on the
No, hardly ever.
As jurors,
You're lucky in that regard.
I was called to jury duty several years ago, and I wanted to get on because it was a grand jury. And I've never done that before. I said, this would be great. I'd love to see what a grand jury does. And the lawyer's like, no, we don't want to take up your time. We have a law. I said, no, I'll serve. And they said, no, forget it.
You're going to be competing with the other lawyers.
No, I wanted to do it. They said, no, we don't want to harm your law practice. You're a solo practitioner. I don't want to take money out of your pocket. You go back to work.
They don't want you asking too many questions.
Polite way to say we do not want the competition.
Yeah, anyway.
The competition.
Yes, it's competition. They may know the juror might know way more than
you get free press out of it.
And then the juror might know more than the lawyer. Oops, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So anyway, aside from all that, if you get a phone call saying you're going to be arrested or do this, or email, you cannot have to do that if you just pay some money. Don't pay any money.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit.
No.
It's ridiculous. But anyway,
you remember all the scams during COVID with people dressed up in those hazmat outfits, going door to door saying, we're going to give you the test. We're going to give you,
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. Don't leave your apartment. Let us check out your apartment to see if it has COVID inside. And they'd go and rip them off and steal. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah. They would go to the elderly. They just knock on the door and say, we have to check out your apartment. See if,
and that's what's going on right now. The elders, everyone's scared. So any little scam come up right now,
I'm telling you,
you're going to get it. People are going to be racking up.
Yeah.
People, if you don't know something, if you're uncomfortable, just do not send any money until you talk to someone.
Yeah, dude, don't send any money.
Do not get nervous. Do not get scared. It's your money, and you always have chances. It's never the last chance. So you check it out. Make sure it's right. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Make sure it's the right people reaching out to you. Don't just say, oh my goodness, and start panicking and then just shoot money at your pocket.
No, it's not always the scammers that are doing it, right? Other people become opportunists, right? Yeah. Opportunists. Even homeowners become opportunists. They turn into scammers overnight when they see there's an opportunity to make some money here. Yeah. It's a good segue to what we're going to talk about today. But I remember it with FEMA and flood damage. People would claim that their home was destroyed, and then FEMA would go there, inspect the area, and find out it was an empty lot. So, it's not only the scammers.
It was damaged. It was washed away.
Blown away.
It was washed away.
Without a trace of anything ever being built there.
Completely.
Sounds good.
So yes, I don't know. What I told my client, I gave her very good advice. I said, well, I don't know how true this is. I'll look into it, but what I recommend is get in your car and drive away, go to a coffee shop, just in case they were actually coming to arrest her.
It's like when they say the IRS, we never call you.
Right.
It's probably the same type of deal, right? We're never going to call you to say, hey.
Yeah, you're going to get
come and report into the police station so you can be handcuffed properly.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Be cordial.
If they really want you, they're coming to get you. They're not sending you letters and say, hey, heads up.
No, that's...
that means you've already overstepped your boundaries. You're already at the last point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, now that we've talked, now I'd love to do an episode on scams.
Just scams,
because I've even been hit with some really sophisticated scams, and I see how lawyers get scammed, and they end up sending money out of their trust account.
Even to people. Lawyers.
Wow.
Everyone gets scammed.
Oh yeah, but we'll do an episode on that, and we'll put together 3 or 4 of the major scams that are out there these days. But anyway, so yesterday I was meandering home after work, and I was it yesterday? No.
Day before yesterday. Yesterday when you were checking on it,
It's been time flies when you're having fun.
Oh my goodness, this week went by so fast.
I know, but so I'm walking home, and I'm walking down the street, and there's a restaurant that we live above, Pistache Restaurant, and the manager, I say, hey, I see hi to the manager, and he goes, oh, take a look at this. He leads me to the back room, and they have a trash can or two where water's pouring down out of the ceiling.
Wow.
They're on the first floor now, pouring down out of the ceiling into these trash buckets. And I said, well, what happened? And he says, we don't know all the facts yet, but there was supposedly a sprinkler line broke or something happened on the 5th floor around 509, 58, 508. What numbers are they?
I think 509.
509.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in 410, so I'm right below, and I'm like, yeah, let me go up and check my condo.
We live very close to each other, so it's all where the water goes, uphill or downhill.
Yeah.
I got lucky. He wasn't as lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing happened to you?
Nothing.
Oh, you're lucky.
Nothing.
Yeah,
You're
no,
really
not that lucky. I've been hit by 2 hurricanes, so what goes around comes around.
Oh, so I walked.
Well, it's not your time. It's not your time. Next time.
Next time. But so I walked into into my condo and our condo and saw that there was about a quarter to a half inch of water covering my entire first floor, all nice hardwood floors. And I said, what should I do now? So first thing I did, and we'll talk about it. First thing I did is I immediately called the insurance company and then went downstairs and had a glass of wine.
I can see
calm your nerves.
To calm my nerves.
And then he texts me and say, we have a flood or something like that. I'm like, well, I'm going to dinner with the girls.
I could never do that. Just leave the water there.
Let it sit there.
What are we supposed to do with it? You're going to mop it up?
Well, of course, the hardwood floor is going to suck it all up.
Yeah, you're done.
You know it's destroyed already, guys. So I guess you did the right thing. Yeah. That was the right move.
Right. So those of you who live in they used to call them, high-rise buildings. I call them vertical structures anyway. Yeah. Very, very formal. But anyway,
wonderful. For
those of you who live in high-rise structures, and if you're not fortunate enough to be on the top floor, and someone above you decides to do something, or pipes break above you,
you're SOL.
You're SOL. And there was quite a bit of water. I was shocked when they sucked up the water, how much water there actually was on the floors.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had this big, huge machine, this vacuum, and they had the canister, and they had to dump it 3 times.
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody knows, but if you let the standing water just dry out on its own, you're going to have mold that develops within 48 hours here in Florida.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Mold
starts within 48 hours.
Yeah. They came in.
They can say they dried it up, but I know there's mold.
There's always going to be water left over. It doesn't matter how much drying you do.
Yeah. No, there's. So the first thing I did immediately was called my insurance company, and we'll talk about that. If you live in a condo, you rent a condo, you own it, whatever, or an apartment, if you're renting it, get renter's insurance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you own it, you have to have insurance unless you don't have a mortgage. And even if you don't have a mortgage, I would say get insurance.
Yeah, get your internal insurance for your personal belongings.
Yeah, because this is not something I caused. And then this is not the first flood we've had.
Right.
Like this is.
It happens constantly.
Yeah, it keeps.
Sorry, ignore that.
What?
Don't worry about that. You have a good topic. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
You're doing such a great job.
Can you turn that off?
There's a lot of
maybe
thinking
not
going on.
Good Lord.
Does that mean we have good
That
ideas?
means it's important.
Good ideas.
I just don't know that. Anyway.
My friend Trish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Trish. Welcome to the show. But anyway, so the first thing you should do is contact your insurance company.
Absolutely.
And the reason being is my insurance company had someone out there within 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours to start sucking up the water and drying and start the mitigation process with the big dryers and dehumidifiers. Not that it's going to fix everything, because it's still 2 days later high moisture levels underneath the floorboards, because that's because all the caulk or whatever materials are under there.
And then
are soaking up the water.
And then you're in. Oh my goodness. And then Then you're inside the home and the fans are going. So any little dust particle is just blowing around.
Yeah.
So the next day I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the best part about it, well, the sad part was I'm like, so, we want new couches, at least I do. And I'm like, the couches got wet, remember?
No.
It was drenched. Well, every furniture, I have like a little slider on there to move it. So nothing got touched, which I was very annoyed.
And all the insurance company would have done is just got us 4 new legs or 6 new legs for the couch, because they're unscrewed. You can screw them off.
Yeah, but it dripped from the ceiling,
exactly.
and
it's terrible.
The wind, and it just flowed into the couch.
I think all my clothes are damaged as well. I'm going to need to close.
That's also when these demolition companies
in
mold remediation companies try to put.
I got mold in my clothes.
Well. Yeah. So you have to be careful, because that's when you're most vulnerable, is when the water's coming in and you don't know what you're doing, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to do a complete demo here. So
well, they talked about
that. Be careful about that. Get your estimates correctly, guys.
Because then all the insurance money, they'll just take all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, they want all of it.
Yeah, they want all of it.
So when's the best time to get it from you? Is when you're vulnerable.
Yeah. So they came in, started sucking up the water, and they ripped off all of the baseboards. And it was interesting because you could see actually the thickness of the floor. When they took off the baseboards, that was completely like a canal of water.
Right.
A lot of water in there. So we still have dryers going and 24/7 and the dehumidifier.
And it's been like 3 days now. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. See, I didn't go home last night, so is the dryer still going on?
The dryers are still going on.
Good to know. Good to know.
They're still plowing away.
He calls me. I'm like, okay.
I'm not coming home.
No, I was going home. I was coming home, and then one of the girls she was like, why don't you come out and have dinner with us?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to drink tonight. I need 1 day off. And I'm like, okay. And then Tim's like, just go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
So I stayed home with the water mitigation crew till midnight, and she was out partying with the girls. But anyway,
I could have been at my studio where I do.
Do you want to tell everybody how it happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, we got a notice later on. The fire department discovered that there was a fire sprinkler pipe that had burst. Now, why did it burst? They don't just burst like that. I think they were tinkering with it, or there was a company that was over. They had to shut down the pump, and then they turned it back on with the pressure involved. I guess one of the pipes had burst.
Blew one of the heads off.
Blew one of the heads off
on the 5th floor.
I could actually hear it like a waterfall. But we couldn't get into the doors. The master keys wouldn't work. So when it rains, it pours, guys. And everything can go wrong.
Couldn't get in? For the water.
The condominium, the condo maintenance. They were supposed to have a master key. They didn't have a key, so we had to wait until the owner got into the apartment. So it had a chance to flow even more, even longer. But the fire department was getting upset because they're like, "We're going to break this door down if you don't get a key over here right away." Yeah. But luckily they were.
So where was the owner?
He was on his way. I think he was stuck in traffic or something.
Yeah. And the person next to my unit to the west, I guess, to the west of me or southwest, anyway, right next to us, they haven't been home yet. So I don't, no one knows where they are. So
so they're not even inside?
No, I don't think so. They couldn't. They were asking.
Isn't it? I don't want to call names, but isn't it the K people?
No, I don't think so. I don't know who lives there. They redid the 2 units, so I don't know who lives there now. I never seen anyone.
Wait, is the one on the right or the one on the left?
If you're looking at our door, it's the one to the right.
Oh no, she never says hi. I don't care.
No, you're talking about the one to the left.
In the little corner space.
No, that's the crabby old lady.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, like literally, I'm like, lady. Oh, she's crabby. I'm like, good morning, with a smile. Good morning. I said it 3 times. She literally ignores me.
Or she grunts.
Oh, well, at least you got a grunt. I got nothing. Grunt. I got a mean, literally, I don't see you, boo.
Anyway. All right. So the first thing to do is call your insurance carrier so they can get out there right away. What else do you think? I think that you need to start taking pictures.
Of course, you have to document everything, especially when it's at its peak, right? Not when the water flows away. And that's difficult to do when it's starting to get dark outside. You need lights. You have to do
the water and the crevices, everything.
And also what you tell the insurance agent doesn't matter right
at that
moment.
Like when I first got in there was water. Like the whole first floor was flooded.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Okay. I took pictures right away, and then
I'll post, guys.
10 minutes later, it's like receded 3 or 4 or 5 inches.
Then you got to think
because the wood needs moisture. And the couch.
Well, then you have to decide. Okay, my personal belongings. You got clothes that might be on the floor, whatever the case may be. You have to take a picture of each article of your personal belongings,
and it cost $2,000. One of my wigs were on the floor.
That's my point. You have to take a picture of it, and then you have to find the receipts for the things that you purchased.
I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
You can show them. You can show them to the insurance company.
Yeah.
So there's a lot involved.
Ignore my phone, please.
Can't you turn that off?
Yeah, I know. Turn off the ringer.
That's what I was trying to do.
It's
one little button.
Anyway.
Listen, stop whining. Leave my phone.
We're whining.
We are live. You guys talking about life is okay.
The phone's dinging all day.
Yeah.
So call your insurance carrier. Hopefully you have insurance, because if not, then you're what they call it? Shit out of luck.
SOL.
I like that. Legal shit out of luck.
Legal shit out of luck. Legally shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Call your insurance carrier. Take pictures and/or videos.
Because word of mouth does not work.
Yeah, but interestingly, I've never seen this before, but the insurance company immediately had a team out there, the whole team of this company, and they came into my apartment, and one guy's job was to videotape every single nook and cranny of my condo.
Yeah, because they need every single nook and cranny of money out your pocket.
No.
Out of the insurance.
They want to make sure that you don't do additional damage.
Correct.
Oh.
They want to make sure that when you say,
they want to say this is because of the flood and not you decided to destroy your bathroom, so you can get it remodeled.
Upstairs aside.
They wanted to make. They took videos of your couch, so they won't be able to get a couch out of this.
Yeah, that damn couch.
Too bad you didn't put golden furniture in there the day before. Huh?
Yep. No. Anyway,
because see, why I would need a new couch too is Tim, when he had COVID, he slept in one spot on the couch. So one spot on the couch is like it's like a dent hole in there, and that's the spot I like to lay in. And because he was sick, I was like, you know what, you can have it.
No, it wasn't.
And he left a divot in there.
Then I had my 2 knee replacements. I stayed at the same spot. So.
And now mine does. It's like sleeping in West Palm.
All right.
I'm glad you had another place to stay. Did you stay in that apartment that night?
I did one night, and I was gonna leave, but then I thought about it. Crap, I didn't drive home. I was gonna go to my work studio.
So if there's somebody
that
hasn't
back
been
in
in
bed and threw my head back under the blanket.
Yeah. So if you said one person hasn't been in their apartment yet. Right. If you say they haven't been in their apartment and it goes for 2-3 weeks, it's going to stink in there. I know. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
Very unhealthy.
And then when the fan starts blowing, that's mold you're blowing around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Closer to the microphone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So anyway, so
what happens after that? You have to start getting your estimates, right? Don't just jump on the very first estimate, too.
No.
You've
already called your
not going to jump
company.
on it.
Well,
I'm surprised Teddy didn't try to call all the insurance company or check out all the estimates for us. Get us the best deal.
If his condo would have been hit, then he would have been on the phone.
Yeah, we would have had all the homework. Yeah. Would have got all his homework.
I went through hell.
Yeah.
And that was from hurricane damage.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
What happened with the hurricane damage?
Yeah, you were in the same building. I wasn't there yet.
Oh, you weren't? No. The first one was Hurricane Wilma. Hurricane Wilma came through very strong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much my apartment had no furniture at that time, but they were putting down the floor. They had put down the cork just before they put down the wooden floor.
Right.
And the cork absorbed most of the water that came in. So all they had to do was replace the cork. So I was very lucky on that very first run.
Interesting.
From Hurricane Wilma. That was 2005. And then 2017, actually there was construction going on in the apartment above me. Mm-hmm. And they hadn't put in a good sliding glass door there.
Oh, yeah.
It had gaps in there. So as soon as the storm came through, all the water from that particular unit rained down onto mine, as well as intrusion from mine. So it was a complete disaster. And I was homeless for about 4 months. I had to stay in hotels in the area.
Wow.
And trust me, when you stay in a hotel longer than a week, you start feeling like it's The Shining, right?
What? We did it. I enjoyed it. I had free breakfast every morning.
Not when you don't know if you're going to be paid back for it.
Okay. That's different.
I had to pay up front a lot, and then FEMA helped me out with a lot of it. I saved a lot of receipts, and I had FEMA visit several times. Then I had to get estimates and things like that. Right. It ended out okay. FEMA ended up paying for most of it, but the heartache, the red tape I had to go through, the extra work I had to do. Oh my God, it was so tough. It was really tough.
You enjoyed that hotel stay.
I did. I enjoyed every bit of it.
They had free waffles.
We were there for
it was everything. I didn't have to cook anything. I just walked downstairs.
It was at a Marriott Residence Inn or something like that.
I stayed at Residence Inn. I stayed at the Hilton Airport. Yeah, they tried to send me to a really bad area in Riviera Beach, I think it was.
Why does it have to be a bad area when you say Riviera Beach?
Well, it was a bad hotel. I checked it out.
Just say bad hotel.
It was a bad hotel.
The area is not bad.
A bad area.
Those are family or those people own their property. They pay their bills. They're working class people.
Bad area. They were trying to shove me in there.
Don't call out Riviera Beach like that.
And I said, I don't want to be mugged while I'm here. So please give me a better hotel. So they gave me a better hotel. They were nice about it.
There are bad hotels everywhere.
At the time, it was very interesting, too, because there were a lot of people from Puerto Rico. They brought people from Puerto Rico into the hotels here because they were displaced during the same hurricane. Yeah.
So another thing to do is look through your insurance policy.
Yeah.
I hate, by the way, I hate insurance companies, number one. And I completely hate trying to read their policies. I think they're written confusingly on purpose. I mean, you try to read them and you have to keep looking back and forth, and you have to look at the definitions, then go to this section, which refers you to another section.
Good thing you're a lawyer and you read fast.
Yeah, I know. But
fall asleep
take a look at your insurance policy and see what it covers, because most insurance policies, renters policies, will cover if you're flooded the cost of going somewhere.
Unless they go belly up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still clearing my throat. Like any kind of dust particles blowing around, I've been clearing my throat for days.
Well, plus the big fans they put in there look all dusty and everything.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so every house has dust. You're not going to get it all. And then when these fans blow all the way around, if you have allergies, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, my clothes again.
Yeah, we're going back to the cleaning all the clothes.
But that's the thing. You never think of certain things.
We're going to have to start a GoFundMe for clothes and a couch.
GoFundMe.
Yes. Because you guys notice that's where I work out too. So we definitely need new floors. I don't want to get fungus
GoFundMe for
on my hands.
These are people who are fully insured saying things like this.
I don't want to get funny on my hams. I need to show you guys how to stretch and work out.
That's right. Okay. What else? Pictures, video. Check your insurance policy.
Yeah.
And if you're having problems, with your insurance carrier trying to tell you, you don't really need a new floor. We can put this in. No.
Get it.
And you can go talk to an attorney. There's also people known as public adjusters.
Oh yeah.
And they will help you fight with your insurance. They'll come in and tell the insurance company, no, this is what needs to be paid, because insurance companies by nature, their goal is to collect premiums and never pay anything out.
Right. That's their ultimate goal.
That's the goal.
Wow.
Collect your premium. And then when you file a claim, they say, well, no, we don't think you're covered.
Yeah. They'll find a way to not give you money.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's their goal.
That's
And what they do is their whole, they have teams of lawyers, and what lawyers do is they keep reviewing various case law on insurance policies and insurance company coverages, and then they change their coverages to meet that case law, so they don't have to pay.
Basically, they'll only pay you out if a fairy comes in with a water dropper in a specific place in your home. That's the only time they'll pay you out. So you have to document everything.
You do,
so that you have something to go against them, because they're not your friends.
That's why they have. Oh, and by the way, I actually called a different company. When I talked to my insurance carrier right away, they said, "Oh, if you want to hire someone, you can. The policy is we'll pay you back, or you just give us the receipts and we'll pay them." Mm-hmm. And the guy from this other company showed up and had a big vacuum machine and everything,
ready to go.
And then the insurance company guy said, "No, we're taking over from here." Bye. And basically kicked him from the bike.
They must be used to it because they just left.
They just left. He packed up and said, "Okay."
Wait. Did he get a fee or anything? Because he just showed
up.
I'm like,
I guess maybe he'll bill the insurance carrier. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a bill from him. But he didn't do anything. He just showed up.
But he still showed up. He had to leave late at night. It's like 10 o'clock or something like that.
9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that was time.
Yeah, but
that's time and money.
But because the insurance company wants to control who's doing the inspection, right? Mm-hmm. So that their people are there taking pictures, taking videos, seeing what's going on, figuring out how it happened, who's responsible. Because like in this instance, from what I understand now, it was the building's company, or the company they hired to do some work in the parking garage on the sprinkler system.
Yes.
Oh.
And when they, I guess, were doing the sprinkler system, they turn the system off. And usually what you're supposed to do, I think, is open up the system for a little bit to relieve some pressure.
Exactly. Right. So that there's airflow going in and it has nowhere to go. Right. There's pressure buildup there.
And so when they turn the pump back on, boom. That blew the sprinkler head. And so ultimately, my insurance company is going to look to the building's insurance company to pay them back.
Right. Who's chasing who? So hopefully the unit owner is out of it.
That's right.
But then you have to talk about the liability as well. This is another part of this, right? You want to see, what do you actually own as a unit owner? You own walls in. What happens in between those walls? That's area where for debate. What happened? Who's responsible for that? Is it a common area, or is that something that is caused by the building itself doing inspections? So that's something you have to look into.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize that when you buy a condominium like the one I live in, my condominium, the part that I own is from the bare wall without anything, built, not paint, but before or behind wallpaper, the bare concrete wall inwards. And then there's when they build these condos, there's walls between them. And they run lines between them. They run your cable internet lines. Those
conduits, everything.
That's owned by the building, and they're responsible for the maintenance of that.
So if water flows through there, if it was caused by something that the building did, the building's responsible for your damages. Yeah. But if it's something that you did, you make a hole through the wall, you hit a wire, and then a fire starts.
That's your fault.
And that's your fault.
Yeah, that's your fault. You caused it.
Then you're on the hook.
Yeah, you're on the hook. Yeah, for everybody's damage, not only your own.
And if you don't have insurance, you could be bankrupt because everyone who gets damaged can now look to you for repayment, or their insurance carrier will look to you for repayment. So that's why like I said, I can't stand having insurance and paying for insurance, but man,
you need it.
You need it, or else
you're on the hook and then you're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come after you. So. Yeah.
So did we touch on all the topics?
So no, I why don't you read some of these? These are some.
You go ahead. You
Okay.
turn it up.
All right. So I thought you might want to.
I'm learning that this part is I'm learning. This part I'm really learning.
She just wants a couch. Can someone get her a couch, please?
Yes.
Just a new couch.
Yeah, well, maybe one with a recliner and I can, like a movie.
Cup holder.
No. That's the kind of no. I know exactly.
Within an hour of the news,
remember
did you think of this?
No, remember on our wedding thing, I wanted a massage couch. It was like 2,000, 4,000. I was like, that's all I need. I will get rid of all the couches just for one of those little couches that they have at the nail salon. You come home, you just put your legs, you recline back, and everything's being massaged. Your neck, your head, your legs. Who needs what's that? With the couch that your parents always have, and no one sits in it. What's that one called?
The recliner.
The sofa. You need a massage sofa.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So
yeah.
Go fund me. Here we go.
Yes. Think about me.
So again, like we said, as soon as something happens, first thing to do is call your insurance carrier so they jump on it. So that way, because then even though they're taking pictures and kind of taking control of the situation, you don't have any debate with them. They see the damage as best they can, and if you document everything, that's very good.
You know what I'd like to have on? The people that's not here yet.
Who?
On the next show, hopefully. I wonder if they'll come on and talk about the stress and the smell.
All right. Well, hopefully
maybe
we'll get some of those people
let
on.
us do a little video.
Also, if there's something that needs to be taken care of immediately, some sort of an emergency, I don't know what, I can't think of any, but if there's some sort of an emergency that you need to do and your insurance carrier hasn't shown up, do it anyway and fight for it later, because and then that's part of the insurance. Because
you have to live there.
Yeah,
you're living in that space.
That's part of usually the policy says you can do that for if it's an emergency.
Yeah, if you have pets and things like that too.
Right? They came faster than the police.
If there's electrical issues, you have an electrician come out and turn off the electricity. It's just,
What if somebody has health equipment there and you need to evacuate them?
My stretcher. I don't know. I'm trying to make up something.
You're not making up anything. Terrible. Right, here we are. Here.
My body sculpting machine was in there and the wires got wet.
I don't think so. All right. Just a couch. Get her a couch. If you actually have property that's damaged, hold on to it. You take pictures of it, but also hold on to it so it can be inspected later on.
Yeah.
Really, really important thing to do. Anything you have to pay for, keep all receipts. Don't toss them in the trash. Those will
that's easy for the new stuff, but the old stuff, how do you find those receipts?
That's the problem.
Hopefully,
I mean, you got a couch there for 5 years,
you
right?
Use your
you
credit card.
remember.
No one's using cash these days.
It's a lot of work.
Yep.
Credit cards.
Yeah, and the other thing a lot of people don't realize is it depends what type of policy you have. Some policies only give you the reduced value of the property, the present day value.
Yeah. The depreciated value.
The depreciated values. So tell them you understand the depreciated value.
Not if you get it from not Sam's, but the other place.
What's that?
Costco's.
Well, with every passing year, all
everything.
these things depreciate, so they're going to try to
not Costco. Costco lets you return everything.
Costco lets you, even
at the
after
same
5
price.
years?
Yes. There's a big thing about that.
This is great.
I don't know if it was Facebook scam or people talk about
lifetime warranty even through any storm, any water damage, any fire.
Costco is the only one that lets you return everything.
Why is my coffee table burnt to a crisp and you're returning it to us? It doesn't work anymore as a coffee table. It's now an ashtray.
Right.
No, it is a lot of headache, guys. It's a lot of stress. You just have to be on point when you do these things. And just like Tim said, you have to contact your insurance company first.
Yeah.
Get them aware that it's happened, because if you don't do it right away, they're going to say, oh, we had a chance to fix everything for a lot cheaper price. Now we don't want to cover you.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll think of any reason under the sun. Right. And under the clouds, too, and under the rain to figure out a way to not have to rip you off.
Yeah.
And that's a rip off, really.
Well, they want to spend, like we said, they want to spend as little money as possible.
Because they're subjected to fraud from people.
Yeah. And that's one of the problems.
And you're one of the good ones that calls in with an actual claim.
Except for a couch. People go.
I do have something to say, though.
Floating couches would be comfortable, right?
Right.
As if it floats on the water.
The best part, though, is having Tim, a lawyer that I'm married to a lawyer. So that's the best part. And he's responsible. So any kind of paperwork is like, it was like, just go to dinner, go enjoy yourself.
Well,
go enjoy yourself. I come back, everything's already taken care of. I don't have to worry about anything. That's the best part about being married and having a great partner.
Well, dealing with the government agencies, I had to be on hold with the phone for like 8 to 10 hours a day before I even got a representative.
And that was years ago. Wait till now.
Yeah. And now, so then, as soon as I got a rep on the phone, we're talking about front level reps. You have to re-explain the entire situation. I got good at like giving the abridged version so that I can get to somebody who can make decisions.
Then they want to hold on. I'm going to transfer you to another unit.
Yes, so you have to wait another hour. So I would always have my phone right there waiting while I did my other work for the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a terrible, terrible time. And I sent several letters too. How about that? How about sending letters and expecting a government agency to get back to you?
Yep.
How did you send your letters? Like how that
I
lady
wrote
got
them
hers?
out. I wrote them out and sent them out.
So the government is allowed to follow up on the letters, but if you get a letter from someone, that's how it works. The government sends you letters.
Yeah.
They were
certified
emailing
letters.
me. They were emailing me a lot of letters as well.
Was it FEMA?
Yeah, FEMA.
Yeah, FEMA.
Yeah.
Say once they figure out your information
FEMA's
properly.
a disaster. Now
Goodness, what
they're
FEMA?
bankrupt. So
Yep.
back then, at least there wasn't a lot of damage to South Florida. So I was lucky. They were even more responsive, but I mean, even then, when they had the time, they didn't have the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Because FEMA depends a lot on volunteers also.
yeah, they have.
Yeah, and the local people putting money together. But if there's not enough money coming in the
You
system,
just have to be very persistent.
We're not quite
Donations.
sure what's going to happen to our FEMA and all the other governmental agencies, what's going on these days. But
every man for themselves. That's what it looks
we'll
like.
see what happens. We'll have to maybe there'll be a 2 or 3 hour wait on the phone.
Yeah.
Instead of a 1 hour wait. But anyway,
Well, those hurricanes on the West Coast really caused a lot of damage,
Yeah.
and they couldn't cover it.
right.
That's all.
Yeah. So something else, once you contact your insurance carrier and you get the process going and you ultimately have to file, I guess, a claim with them or whatever, there's going to come a time when there's going to need to be some work done. And even before the work has to be done, there's going to be people coming in and out of your unit or your condo or your apartment to inspect and to pick up the dryers that are now no longer needed. Make sure your valuables aren't lying around.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Did you make sure mine weren't?
Yeah.
I was worried about
Did you
that.
pick up my wig?
What? I don't think that.
I was worried about that too, because when
you
you're placed
never
as a
know.
disaster zone, you're like, oh,
And my
I'm
hair
leaving.
pieces, all my hair pieces. I'll take pictures. Like I have a rack with extensions, and that's a couple thousand.
Well, I can
Who's
tell
going to take that though?
Someone.
I can tell you.
Mother's Day's coming up.
I can
Did we
tell
already
you.
pass Mother's Day? Easter.
You got guys
Those
coming
are
in looking
extensions.
for wigs?
No, for their wives and their girlfriends that are missing hair.
The 2 gentlemen who were doing the cleanup were each a good 350 pounds and didn't look like they were looking for any wigs to steal.
Did they look like they were married? Listen, good men don't steal for themselves. They steal for their women.
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, well.
She
It's
makes
like that movie Bad
extensions.
Santa. Make sure you get that shawl for me when you're going to go rob the mall.
Yes.
Make sure you get these rings. She
Get
had a
my
whole
couch,
list.
man.
She had a whole list for the guy.
Yeah. Put all my stuff up. Yeah.
And
all my extensions better be there. I did a video, so all my pieces, my eye tips, everything.
So usually, I don't know what happened with you, Ted, but usually the insurance carrier gives you a check for the damages, right? And then you go out and hire your own people?
No,
they have their own
my
people do
insurance
it.
wouldn't cover it because I didn't have storm damage coverage. So I didn't have hurricane coverage at the time. I had regular coverage of the internal components of my unit. I tried to say that it wasn't from my unit. It was from the unit above as well. So they had to determine the difference there. But the construction company as well that was doing the renovations, then they turned off their insurance during the renovations.
Oh, wow.
The unit owner had turned off his insurance during the renovation, so he wasn't covered at all either.
He lost insurance.
So what were we going to do? We were thinking about even suing the company that made the sliding glass doors because they made them faulty. But in the end, I got FEMA to help me out. Otherwise, I would have had to go the other route.
Yeah.
So FEMA sent me a check all the way up until the end. So I was nervous all up until the end. This were all upfront costs that I had to send to FEMA later, and then they came back with a final answer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And I had to fight that number
and
too.
if you're going to hire contractors to do the work, make sure they're licensed contractors.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we've learned that the hard way.
Yep. Yeah, we have learned that the hard way. And you can even lawyers make mistakes. But anyway, this was your friend, by the way. Your
they need coverage. All of them need
this
coverage.
was a trick. They tricked us. They pretend like they were.
Yeah. But you can go
Why
online.
you always throw me under the bus?
I'm not throwing
in
you
real
under the
life
bus.
and on podcasts. Come on, don't do that. He's good, but he's not that good. I just gave him all that praise.
I just want you to get a couch, for Christ's sakes. But make sure the contractors are licensed, and you can check that online. I think with the Department of Business Professional Regulation, DBPR, you can actually look up contractor licenses and find out if the contractors are licensed.
So
and,
DBPR for contractors.
Yeah, and also this is not what we're in a condominium. I'm in a condominium, so it's different. But if this stuff happens to you while you're in your home and you have to leave your home, again, you have to take precaution because your home's going to be unoccupied.
Right. Yeah. Don't assume they're all honest.
Yeah.
Oh, true. So always try to be there.
Yep. Well, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an event happen and we had to talk about it. And there are many legal issues
what are we
going
to talk about this week?
Yeah, we weren't quite sure.
It fell in our lap.
Yeah.
No, we do want to give a little hint about what we're going to talk about next week as well, right?
That's
so why don't you go off with that?
If you remember back in, I think it was 1989, the Mendez brothers shot and killed their mother and father while the mother and dad were watching television in their house. They were put on trial when, I think, the early 90s.
Yeah, in the early 90s. I think the final verdict came out in 93.
They were convicted. I don't remember what they were convicted of, but they were sentenced to life in prison.
Without parole.
Without parole. So that's it. You're done. See you later. Bye. And now I haven't fully read this story, so I'm going to do it this week, but they're now seeking to either be let free, have their sentences commuted, I guess, or they're looking to get resentenced. They're looking to get resentenced in a way that would allow them to seek parole and possibly get out.
And I read that the judge said that they paid their debt
dues
to society.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about, if someone shoots their mother and father to death, and it wasn't like once or twice, it was like 13 times.
It was 30.
I don't know what happened. Okay, still going.
Okay.
Oh, scared me.
Get your hands off there.
Stop playing with it.
It said something. I'm
mine,
like, whoa.
Mine didn't even go live. So
yeah.
I was hoping mine would go live. It didn't go live.
No.
Only yours.
Mine went live.
Yeah, but mine didn't go live for some reason. So we're going to have to look at that.
So in any event, so next week we want to talk about the Mendez brothers, and we're going to do some research as to what they're actually seeking, because the question becomes, do we make exceptions for people? I mean, there's a lot of people that are in jail for life for murdering someone. And now some people are saying, well, these two guys, they paid their dues. Well, what about all the other thousands of people in there? I mean, have they paid their dues?
And they didn't do it in the heat of the moment. It wasn't like they were arguing at the time. They planned to kill their parents.
Yeah.
And I guess they were fearful for their lives as well.
I watched a docu-series on it once, and it was, you don't know what's true in a docu-series, but anyway, it was, it seemed to indicate that they thought, I think their parents said, we should go for a boat ride one time, like this weekend, let's do a boat ride.
Oh boy.
And they were, I think they had threatened their parents that they were going to come clean. They were going to expose them because supposedly the father had been molesting the two Mendez brothers for years.
Which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Exactly.
You tell the authorities.
So when mom and dad suggested a boat ride, the brothers, according to their story, were thought to themselves, Mom and Dad's going to kill us, so we've got to kill them first.
TK, you are live.
So they went out. Oh, there we go.
I don't know if you can see it, though.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it. Okay.
Yeah, it says you're live.
That's good.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So they went out and bought a shotgun, I think, and shot both their parents.
Forgot you were talking.
Yeah, I know. And plus, they actually, I think the mother was still on the floor, half alive. So they went up and made sure she was pumped. They pumped another one into her head to make sure she was dead for sure. So it was not a simple little murder, and it wasn't heat of the moment.
That's pretty morbid.
It was planned. So we're going to talk about that next week.
Tim likes to watch real life stuff. I'm more of a sci-fi, love, sex, all that stuff.
But even those have a little bit of embellishment in there.
I don't like watching stuff like that.
Yeah,
anything that's too real and reality that's not happy in the end. I like fairy tales.
Well, that guy Stacy Keach, right? That's how he made a big living, right? Out of talking about these things, those scandals.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for the day.
Like our book, we have a book club book this week, this month, and I do not like reading stuff like this. It's like a lady who's married. She wants a divorce from her husband, and the kids already went off to college, and now she's seen that she doesn't really love her husband anymore. He's cheated, and now she's talking about killing him. I'm like, what kind of book is this for the book club? I do not want to watch. I do not want to read it, listen to it, anything.
The amazing thing is that's real life.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do.
The lawyer's going to tell us that's a bad idea.
Yeah. And then there's one girl that she's going through a divorce. She's like, I don't want nothing to do with this book, because this book now is like, suppose her husband sees her reading this book, and then now she gets all the money.
Hey, and also I want to tie in next week to the murder trial I did back in the 1990s as well. It was after the Mendez murder, but it was here in Florida. And our client, a 16-year-old boy, ended up walking down the street and killing an old woman. I think she was 82. Her name was Molly Frazier. And he's in prison for the rest of his life. We tried to get him resentenced because he was originally sentenced as a juvenile at 16 years old to life in prison. And we tried through the governor's office for years. And even after I left that firm, they continued to try, but no success. So I'll tell you a little bit about that story. And it just shows like the Mendez brothers did a horrible crime, and they said they had extenuating circumstances. They were being molested.
Right.
The client, his name is Victor Brancaccio. He was on Zoloft as a young child, and he claimed that it made him do crazy things, and there was good medical evidence of this. And so we'll talk a little bit about both.
Oh, yeah, because they have similarities, except one might be chemically induced and the other one just might be premeditated.
Exactly.
Right?
So.
And these were rich kids, right? These were rich kids in both cases.
Yeah, I think actually, what is that? Beverly Hills home was worth like $14 million back then.
I remember once they off the parents, they were like flashy shopping.
Yeah, they went
nice cars, everything.
Trips and cars, and that was part of the trial. That
Oh, and then one just act like he was gay, and then I remember it now.
So they were in a celebration mode after they killed their parents.
Well,
and when they got caught,
I think it was remorse. They were just very sad, very depressed, and they had to go out.
They had to go out and have a shopping spree.
Oh, it's just like a woman. If we're depressed, we go shopping. It makes us feel better. Okay.
All right. So listen, thanks for sticking around, and hopefully you learned a little something about when you come home and your floor has an inch of water on it, or the water's cascading down the walls, and if not, give us, or if you have any questions, send us an email or something, and we'll try to answer it. All right.
And hopefully you have a partner, or when I say it's good to have someone else there with you to balance out all that stress. Hopefully you have someone there with you. You're not just by yourself doing all this work, because you still have to go back to work, and you still have to worry about all this. There's a balance.
All right.
Can you handle the pressure?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Hope you guys like the green in my hair.
Have a good one.
Yeah, this was a good show.
Bye.
Yeah. Hopefully.